Peace, y'all. We are back for part 2 of the Love You Right Talk Back. We are now joined by more of our phenomenal cast. Welcome to Don, Milaya, Maysa, and Marquis. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good.
Good.
Really
Good.
amazing.
Good.
Excellent. So I want to jump right into these questions, but I do want to give you guys an opportunity to just introduce yourselves. I'll throw it to you, Milaya, first. Let the folks know who you are, maybe a little bit about yourself and your role in the film.
Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Milaya Gregory, and of course, I'm an actor. Right now, actually, white collar by day, I guess actor by night, or on the weekends, whatever you want to call it. And I play Sharday in the film, and Sharday is the best friend of Will Clay.
Excellent. Welcome, Milaya. I'll throw it over to you, Maysa. Let us know who you are, a little bit about yourself and your role.
Hey, everybody. I am Maysa Naima. My most important role is wife and mother of 2 beautiful girls, Serenity and Faith. I play Kiara Kay, who is Will Clay's boo and his tell all to do in the film. And you'll see some twists and turns in that relationship.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Let's throw it over to Marquis. What's up, Marquis?
Hey, what's up, Will? I'm Marquis Valdez, writer, actor. I play Kamal, aka Molly Mall in the film. I play Will's best friend, his homie, everybody got their ride or die, so, just hold the ball down whenever he need, whenever he need a homie to ride with him, so.
The fact he was down, he had the bat, he was ready. Appreciate a friend like you. What's up, Don? Talk to us.
What's up, everybody? I'm Don. I'm Don Cephas, also known as the King Keith. I'm an artist-songwriter from Philly. I play Rodney in the movie Love You Right. Rodney is one of the close friends / obnoxious manager of Mr. Will Clay. And I had a pleasure playing it.
It's Rodney, baby.
Right. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. Before you guys joined us, we got to talk a lot about the movie. A lot about the music, but I really want to start focusing this in a little bit more on the film itself. And I want to start us off with you, Christina. Give us the background. What really inspired you to create Love You Right?
Man, every time people ask me this question, I'm like, I don't know. No, I do know what inspired me to make Love You Right. I think what inspired me to make Love You Right is just I wanted to make a movie about love that was real Black. And I wanted something that had music in it. And so my mother, before she passed, she would watch my show Single and Anxious, and she was like, "You need something with some music in it." And so when I realized I needed to make a feature, I thought about all of my top films. All my top 5 films are all musicals, and besides Annie, they're all R&B, Black music centered. And so I really wanted to do something that we could trail and just see an artist from beginning to end. And so when me and Marquis came together, we destroyed one script and started all over, and this is what we have.
I love it. I mean, I love the film, and I know that your audience will as well. And I think that's always going to happen when you know your audience as well and as intimately as you do. I'm curious for you, Christina and Marquis, what were some of the things that, as you guys are co-writing, what were some of the things that you considered when writing for your audience, and what was the co-writing process like for you two?
I'll let Marquis take that.
The co-writing process was like really great. I love working with Christina. We work really well together. And it's just really cool and great to work with someone who doesn't really have an ego. It makes like the writing process like really cool, really smooth, and we got to like really like flesh out these ideas. Like she said, we worked on another. It was kind of like this isn't working, so we kind of had to like change directions. And so when we came up with this, we really just kind of like dug deep. We looked at some old footage. We kind of just was like, let's find something that really like moves us and really touch us while just telling the story about like somebody experiencing the journey, like somebody growing over time, and just kind of like me, myself, Christina, and everybody who's an artist here, we kind of all like have like these journeys, and we go through like these different things. And I think we all can, as artists, can relate to like growing and just really figuring out like what do we really want from these experiences? Like what do we want from our artistry? So I think that was kind of like the thing that we really wanted to touch on, and I think that we really got to do that with this film. So it was really nice to be able to explore that with everybody.
No, I love that, and I think you guys have created this piece of art that I think is really important for us, especially for me and myself as a young creator, young creative. I'm wondering though, for Maysa and for Don, you guys play really important roles in the film, and I hope I never have teams like y'all. I'm gonna be honest, but I'm curious from you guys' perspective. Why do you think this film is so important for the culture? I would love for you, Maysa, to take that first.
Okay, so I think why it was so important for the culture, because of social media today, you can find any and everyone who is talented on your Instagrams, your Twitters, your Snapchats, your so on and so forth, YouTube. And specifically in this film, obviously, like we say, it's an R&B musical. So I feel like it can just inspire more and more people to just go for their dreams, right? Because, I mean, we found Mark on Instagram, and like this cast was put together just basically because of the way the world works on the internet. And it just brings those two worlds together, acting and singing. And right now, that's what you can find on Instagram today. Everyone who is talented is singing and putting their own, like their little skits and stuff, and putting up songs. And Insta fame is like moving the world. People that you never knew are now on TV shows, like on real networks now. So I feel like this particular film kind of brings that all together, and where you can find the meeting of those two industries, which is music and film. And it's just kind of showing how it works in the world today, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I would love to hear your perspective, Don. Like I mentioned, I learned what it looks like, in certain ways for creatives to build, but I also learned what to watch out for, specifically from your character. But Don, tell me from your perspective, why was this film important for the culture?
I think representation is always important. It's a good thing when you can inspire people to do what they have a passion for doing. It's not just playing a character, it's just seeing another person that's like you fulfilling their dreams, living their dreams. And with me having a son, I think it's dope to inspire people like him, and children, especially this next generation, to not only be encouraged to do what they want to do, but also message of the film itself, that pushing the Black love, because I think it changes or adds to the dichotomy that Black love is successful, that it is achievable, and that this whole narrative that Black men don't love Black women, or Black women don't love Black men, I think it's just good to see a different narrative push with this film, especially with the ultimate end, and I'm just happy to be a part of that.
Yeah, I love that, and I think that's such a great answer. I think another one of those narratives that we see a lot of times in Black love, even specifically, is sometimes us men are silly. We put our women through so much before we love them right. So Milaya, I'm wondering from your perspective, right, your character, the love is strong from early, but it takes so long, right, for you guys to really find that in each other. But for you, Milaya, what does it really mean for you, for someone to be loved right?
I think ultimately, for someone to be loved right, they have to love themselves first. And first, when you are good emotionally, mentally, physically, then that can bounce off into any relationship that you have, pretty much. So it starts with you. And once you love you right, and then you can love others right.
I dig that. I'm wondering, we've talked about this idea of loving ourselves before others can love us well. And Mark, you've even mentioned self-care and how important it is for it to go a little bit beyond just the bubble baths, et cetera. So I want to hear from you a little bit more about that. What should creatives, especially Black creatives, be thinking about when they talk about that self-care and taking care of themselves?
Yeah, taking care of that brain and that mental state and your inside and your faith and your hope. For me, my self-care is truly finding the best way to believe in myself, and I find it through a higher power. Everybody doesn't have the same belief system or religious beliefs or anything like that, but my faith, my hope, and everything is rooted in Christ, in God, and that keeps me sane even when it's going crazy. And as a creative, as an actor, all of us are, actors and creatives trying to forge a way into this industry. You can really get discouraged and you can really get knocked off your path. And for me, the thing that keeps me back on is my faith and my hope in God. So I say for me, self-care is having that higher being that can keep me grounded, centered, and true to myself and believing in myself, because it's so easy to fall off. It's so easy to get caught up in everything and not believe in yourself and get rocks thrown at you and stones and all that kind of stuff. So my highest form of self-care is believing in a higher power and knowing that higher power, God, Jesus, he got me, and I'm going to be all right, even when it don't feel all right or it don't look all right.
Absolutely. That's such a powerful and beautiful answer, man. Thank you for sharing that. And, honestly, as I hear you say that, I'm kind of reminded, like, a lot of us as creatives, that's sometimes the most challenging part, right? That self-belief, right? Especially in the industries that we're in. And the irony is Black culture runs the world, right? So if we just have that self-belief, we can really be so impactful. But I'm wondering, for you guys, as we're talking about, Maysa, you mentioned, how creators, we can get online, right, and start creating content so easily. We can build our careers. We're in 2021. What impact do you all feel Black creatives have in this time, in this era that we're in? Do you feel that we have a responsibility, right, as Black creatives to share messages in any way? And I'm gonna just kind of leave it a little open-ended there. But I would love to hear about that, Christina. What do you think the role of Black creatives is today?
I think Black creatives need to create what Black creators want to create, right? I think a big part of the problem, and I was thinking about this earlier, is we want the money and we need the money to create oftentimes. And so we settle because of our desire for the bag. And oftentimes we're not creating like the Toni Morrisons and like the James Baldwins, right? We're not creating like the people that we admire, because I'm going back on their stuff, they're just like, we create because we want to create, not because they offer them anything, because they didn't offer them anything back then. And so I think for me, a Black creator needs to create what they want to create as opposed to creating what the engine wants them to create, because the engine doesn't have our end in mind. And so that's a hard thing to do. It's a longer road. But I always say people might not like Tyler's method. I mean his style, but his method works, and Tyler makes what Tyler wants to make for his audience. And so I'm really encouraged by that. And I think we need to start making what we want to make.
Yeah, and I did you want to add to that, Maysa?
Yeah, I just feel like I think we have a responsibility to our culture, in that we have to take advantage of a time that we can do it now. Because prior to social media and or this day and age, Black folks, there was one, or just a few that was even able to cross into the threshold of this industry. And I feel like we have a responsibility to get as many of us in the door, creating content that is a reflection of ourselves. I want to be able to turn the TV on or watch a movie and see myself. And not just speaking because I'm a dark-skinned girl, but I mean, let's just look at our culture in and of itself. It's a lot of self-hate that goes on in our culture, unfortunately. And girls like me always like we had to fight to get a role, and because there's only one role for someone who looks like me. although I'm a Black girl, I have to be a lighter Black girl. I just feel like it's important for us to do it now and just flood the industry with everything that reflects us. And that could be as hood as it wants to be, as religious as it wants to be, as girl power, as Black magic. All of that needs to get just pushed into the industry now, so that, it's not like a hard way to go going forward. Because once we have the floor, they can't take it back because we are that good. That's just the way I see it. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And I love, Christina, when you mentioned just like, we should create what we want to create. I know that you're doing that, right, in previous projects. And now you even popped up in a cameo, in this, not even a cameo, a role, right? Is that something that we can expect from you and your feature films moving forward? You gonna pull an M. Night Shyamalan and have cameos consistently?
What's up, Chris?
I don't know. That is very hard. I think I have to. I need to become a bit more aware of myself in order to keep doing that. But it was very fun. It was very, very fun. I shout out to Spike Lee who does it. I think if I have a DP that is able to direct as well, it'll help a lot with that. I'm open to it. Look, I'm open to it. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, I really appreciated the scenes that you were in. So I hope that you continue to lean into that. So one of the things that I really appreciated after watching the film is just kind of sitting back and then remembering that I just watched an independent production, right?
Yes.
Christina, like that I think is just, that deserves kudos in itself for the level of production, for the amazing talent you were able to pull together to make this happen. I would love for you to just, give folks an understanding of what it looks like to build this project independently versus, right, what we may be used to watching when we go on a Netflix or something like that. Talk to us a little bit about that process.
Yeah, I think, this is what I'll say. When I was younger, I fell deeply in love with independent films because I was living at my grandmother's, and she lived in a senior community. So I went to the video store all the time. I watched so many movies my ninth grade year. I don't know how many movies I watched, and I discovered independent films. And independent films always looked different. They had less frills. It felt different. And I didn't know then why it was like that, and it's budget. And so what I tell people is understand that when you're watching an independent film, you are watching something that has 1, maybe 2% of the budget of your favorite film or show. Netflix spends $7 million an episode on the low end for a show. We made this film with $19,000 scraping and just figuring it out. No one got paid. Like, no one. If somebody got paid something, it was just because, hey, they're spending so much time. Everyone took less than what they were worth if I actually gave them money. It An independent film is a labor of love. And I think especially as Black people, we don't honor independent as much as we need to. Independent, as Rec Philly says in Philadelphia, plug on Rec Philly, independent doesn't mean alone. I got together with people that I thought were incredibly talented, that have had opportunities or have not had opportunities. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to shine people that the industry will never put a spotlight on them the way that I would at that particular time. And so I think it's really important that when you talk about this movie, you talk about all the things you love and you encourage people to pay that $12.99 to purchase it, because it'll help us get on the streaming platform. It can launch Mark's career, Milaya, Maysa, Marquis, Don, Crystal, Christopher Stevens. It was his first score. He did an amazing job. Leah Janae, it can launch people's score, and we have the ability to push people forward if we choose to. Like, don't tell me about all the other films and stuff that you love and you watch, and you can't tell me about something that's independent. And so I thank everyone who, if you're here right now and you're seeing this, you have sown into our labor of love. Every dollar just goes back to purchase the film. Like, that's what we're doing. We're purchasing the film. But what we really want you to do is we want you to share it. We want you to talk about it. We want word of mouth. I want this word of mouth to be like it used to be in the 90s before there was internet, right? Where everybody talks about it. And so, like, we ain't had no budget. None.
I
If
dig
you
it.
saw a cool shot, I probably was suspended or somebody was suspended from something. Like, the girls did all of their makeup. There was no makeup artist. There was no hair artist. Mark talked about the weave so much because Maysa was doing the weave. She's on the floor before when she should be able to prep doing her own hair, right? And so I'm just really thankful for everything everyone has done. I want to just thank everyone that has been a part of this from beginning to end. We are still working on this film where some people stopped months ago. We've been going. And just, people are like, oh, the graphics are great. Like, we've got an amazing team that has just labored with us. And so, yeah, like, thank you to everyone for believing and trusting me and having faith when I ain't have faith, because y'all understand. Y'all don't understand what it took to make this movie.
Well,
It's
listen,
crazy.
we very much so appreciate you, everyone involved in the cast and the team, and really for you guys being able to deliver a story that we needed and a message that was so needed and so timely. So I just want to say thank you to y'all. But before we go, Christina, please let folks know how they can purchase the film. Got to do that. Let them know.
All you got to do is go to loveyouright.com or type in Love You Right and R&B on any platform in the world. It's going to pop up. We want to thank our partners with Freestyle Digital Media. We have distribution. Thank you, George Floyd, his family, his death. It changed our lives. And so, yeah, the music is available on all the platforms. You could go on anything, Amazon, iTunes, cable networks, satellite TV networks. We everywhere, and we really want to see this move to the next level so that we can be on the Netflix, on the Hulu, on the HBO. Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mark, Milaya, Maysa, Marquis, Don, and of course Christina Faith. We appreciate you at home for tuning in with us. Again, I am Will Toms. It has been my pleasure to moderate this conversation with such incredible talent. And I hope that you guys all have an incredible evening, and we'll catch y'all next time. But go share that film. Go share it. Go tell folks. All that stuff.
Click the link in the bio.
Hit the link in the bio. Hilarious.
I'm too much, so I take it slowly. I do. Said you like it rough, that's a lie, you own me. I treat you like my favorite pastime. I treat you like you're giving me bribes. Girl, you talk too much, told you I am not him. Got your eyes wide, mouth wide open. You thought that I was telling you lies. I caught you off guard, surprise. Almost made you break your neck. Almost made you break your neck. Ooh, girl, this ain't just sex. Ooh, girl, this ain't just sex. You should check between your legs. You should check between your legs. Think you just messed up the bed. Think you just messed up the bed. This ain't just sex. Ask my ex, she know facts. She know I'm breaking the back. She wish she could give me back. That's just how good I am, miss out the sack. Damn. It's better than money and drugs. It's better than kisses and hugs. It's better than falling in love, falling in love. I don't like to brag, so I let the work speak. I do. Like to dress clean, but dirty. I do. I treat you like my favorite pastime. Time. I treat you like you're giving me bribes. You should watch yourself or you get addicted. I'm good for your health, but I'm hard to quit. You thought that I was telling you lies. I caught you off guard, surprise. Almost made you break your neck. Almost made you break your neck. Ooh, girl, this ain't just sex. Ooh, girl, this ain't just sex. You should check between your legs. You should check between your legs. Think you just messed up the bed. Think you just messed up the bed. This ain't just sex. Ask my ex, she know facts. She know I'm breaking her back. She wish she could give me back. That's just how good I am, miss out the sack. Damn, it's better than money and drugs. It's better than kisses and hugs. It's better than falling in love, falling in love. Before you let go, let me hold you close. Time to feel my love. Baby, open up. Girl, you talk too much, told you I am not him. Got your eyes wide, mouth wide open. Thought I was telling you lies. I caught you off guard, surprise. Almost made you break your neck. Almost made you break your neck. Ooh, girl, this ain't just sex. Ooh, girl, this ain't just sex. You should check between your legs. You should check between your legs. Think you just messed up the bed. Think you just messed up the bed. This ain't just sex. That's my ex. She know facts. She know I'm breaking her back. She wish she could get me back. That's just how good I am inside the sack. Damn. It's better than money and drugs. It's better than kisses and hugs. It's better than falling in love, falling in love.